Last time on Wanderlust. All of you are dressed like his scarecrows, and you are walking confidently out of his settlement. On either side, what you notice is this area is becoming starkly different. It isn't just that it is plant life that is overgrown. This is almost entirely comprised of fungal growth. Fred, you're kind of spacing in and out, and basically Autumn is running the boat. And so Fred, I'll say you're kind of like looking up, you can see like the solitary moon that does seem odd, and you're sort of looking up at that, and then you do see wings move across it.
Oh gosh.
Like as soon as you set foot like from the crow's nest, your foot hits the ground, and then you just feel a like clawed talon hit your back and knock you over onto the ground.
Good.
So what you're saying is he gets knocked down.
Do I get up again now?
That's up to you. So the trip up the river, you're like basically halfway to the mountains by the time like the next night falls.
I'd be hesitant to go out there just because that's the direction that I believe that the heart of the forest might be, and I don't want to draw any more attention to it if we don't have to.
That's fair.
So I think we'll pass another night in the boat with the lights low.
Fred, it gets to you, and I need you to make me some kind of perception-y check. So you're sitting there, and then you just hear a spook, and then an arrow kind of lands in the side of the boat next to you, just like sticking out of the boat, and you just hear a voice off in the distance. I don't have to miss, but I chose to miss.
Well, we're planning on eradicating the mushrooms. The mushrooms that are spreading all over the area.
Why?
Because they're going to take over everything, and we don't want to change anymore.
Let me maybe offer this one piece of advice. Keep an open mind.
Fred is going to lick the really cool bow that he got from the mushroom guy.
Fred, you had just picked up this bow and arrow that had been given to you and licked it, correct?
Indeed.
So you're sitting around with everyone else, you lick this bow, and you feel your memories kind of slipping away from you. At this point now, this sort of trance of going into other people's memories is becoming a little bit familiar to you as you've done it a few times now at this point. The experience this time is not as unpleasant or as verbal. You get flashes of a tree growing. You feel the wood fibers hardening as they get older and older. You feel the branch that is this bow being hacked off of a tree and then slowly whittled into a shape of this bow and arrow. The person doing this was clearly doing it over days and days and days. There was repeated trials as the right amount of wood was shaved away from the correct places to make this a useful bow. And then there was also a good deal of time spent on artistry, making it look beautiful, putting a nice finish on it, doing little engravings and carvings that are meant to tell a story on it. And then you start getting into memories of this bow's use. You see mostly repeated images of hunts, right? Of this bow being used to shoot a variety of animals, and then those animals being cooked and sustaining the hunter for... Sorry. Oh no. Technical difficulties. Sorry.
Your boom arm fall?
Yeah.
I really want you to keep this in, Mandy, and do the technical difficulty sound that they do on like TVs when they put up the card.
All right. Yeah, okay, that's better. The images as you see yourself using this bow time and time again, the terrain is very familiar. It's that flat grassland that you had seen before. But then eventually, the distance the bow travels grows further and further. You start seeing yourself climbing up higher and higher into these mountains. You start seeing yourself in unfamiliar lands, still always using this same bow and arrow to hunt and sustain yourself, to the point where it eventually feels like an extension of your body. And then the next thing you feel is hunger. You are out of food. You're sitting in a cave. And that's kind of where you come to a memory that actually solidifies on some place where you can kind of experience it less as like these flickering memories.
So I'm in this cave. I'm hungry. I mean, I'm going to try to scout around for any kind of game, any kind of animal that might be around.
So I'll say this will be like a survival roll, and I'll say in this roll, because you're someone else, you have a buff to this roll of 3.
3? Okay. It's a 6.
Oh, wow. Okay. So the full story here is game has become more scarce in the field that you lived in. Just other predators moved in, and it was getting harder and harder for you to live there, so you had to start ranging out further. Eventually, you crossed over this mountain range and found like a larger river that runs north to south, and spent some time trying to do bow fishing to little success. And eventually, in desperation, you started making your way back home with very little food. And during a storm, you sheltered yourself in this cave that oddly was full of a great deal of mushrooms. They looked unfamiliar to you, and like looking at them now, so like this is what's in the cave with you, this sort of like dark cave. They don't seem to have any hallmarks of being poisonous necessarily, but it's all that you got for right now.
Okay, question. How much of Fred do, like, because in the previous visions I was like still Fred pretending to be, like, whether that's Lance or that
same thing.
Okay.
You don't have to do the memory right. Okay,
so this isn't freaking Assassin's Creed where the memory will desync if I do it wrong.
No. It'll end when it ends, but it's not going to be because you goof up.
Okay, I guess first thing, there's the mushroom. Does it look like the mushroom?
Yes and no. It looks like a proto version of it. It has many similar characteristics, but is not identical.
Okay. I think Fred is going to grab it and take it with, but not eat it right away, and keep looking for any kind of other food.
So as you start working your way deeper into this cave, there is so kind of the order here is you are coming from this river that was running north and south in the center of the little like large continent that you're on basically, and you are making your way back west, right? The opening of the cave, there was a river that poured out of it up in the mountains. And as you start working your way deeper into the cave, that river is like cascading through this cave, right? So it's like pouring over rocks. So you're kind of working your way up the side. So it's like really damp and loud with rushing water as you keep making your way higher and higher and higher up in this cave. There really is no other food, but there is an abundance of these mushrooms, and you can just feel yourself growing hungrier and hungrier and hungrier.
Yeah, I guess he'll eat the mushroom.
So this is odd, right? Because, like, this does not affect Fred, right? But it does affect this person. So you take a bite of the mushroom and your vision kind of like swims and fades out. And then the memory kind of shuffles and you wake up on a shore that's actually very familiar to you. It's high up in the mountains by a cave by a lake. And you look down at your arms and you can see patches of this fungus on them, like you saw on the guy who gave you the bow. Like as you look down at your hands and arms, you don't feel as hungry anymore. But as you look around, there isn't like an immediate sense of like, oh, I'm a different person now. But there's just little things that you can start picking up. you just kind of know about, like, hey, this is where fertile soil is. This is where moisture is as I look around. Like, you can just pinpoint, almost like looking at a map of ground composition. You just can kind of intuitively tell that by looking at it now. Almost like how when you look at a body of water, you can see like ripples where there's maybe like eddy currents, or where there's something under the water, or where there's disruptions. You can basically see the ground like that. You get a sense of, you have a stronger sense of like the way a environment might balance itself. You get a stronger sense of what particular kinds of decay might nourish mushrooms. And then you also just kind of have this lingering sense that it would be good for there to be more of them. You don't feel a voice in your head. You don't feel a, like, conquering of your mind, but you just kind of have this impulse to be like, I could spread these spores around my garden, you know, and then the mushrooms could grow here, and I can eat them. That would be good. Almost like when you go like, hey, you like, you know, you see a cheeseburger and you're like, that would be good to eat. It's sort of like that. That just like natural drive to eat food or to sleep or drink water. You just kind of have that to spread mushrooms around. Be good, right? Be better if there were mushrooms here.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess Fred will start doing that then, because it seems like a good idea.
Yeah, so you start, like, you know, cutting up some pieces of mushrooms and burying them different places and trying to, like, steep them in some water that you could spread around later. And you feel yourself waking back up to your own body as you kind of, like, fade out on this bow set up against the rocks by the cave high up in this mountain lake with water pouring into it. And you just kind of, like, end on that memory of just starting to spread some mushrooms around because they're good to eat.
So what this was like early in the evening, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone else is still awake?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you also feel like an intense sense of vertigo? Sorry. Like, almost like you lost a sense when you wake back up. Because you no longer have that, like, intuitive understanding of, like, what is under the ground, where, and why. You lost all of that.
I think Fred is going to, like, you know that thing, like, once you have, like, a big revelation, you, like, stand up real fast? Fred's going to try to do that, but he's going to fall over instead.
Fred, are you all right?
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. I'm a bit dizzy there. Yeah, I looked to this bow that the guy gave me, and that was quite a trip. I know it's going to sound weird, but I think we should go to that cave on the edge of the water there. I think the mushrooms might have, at least some version of the mushrooms might have started there.
Like, this is their originating location. Otis was wrong?
I'm not 100% sure, but the mushrooms I saw there, in the vision I saw, the mushrooms that were there looked kind of like the mushrooms we see here, but a little different. They looked like an earlier version of them or something. And
farther back on the evolutionary chain?
I guess. I'm not a biologist. But when I ate one, I had a sense that it would be a good idea to, like, spread it around, plant it other places.
What do you mean you ate one?
In the vision.
And how do you feel now?
How do I feel now? I guess besides vertigoed.
You feel the same. No change.
Okay.
That sense of vertigo was from you losing that, like, mushroom change, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm a little dizzy, but I don't think it's that. I think it's because, so I was seeing it from the perspective of the guy that owned this bow, right? That's how my power tends to work, is I see the history of the object and the person that owned the object.
Right.
And I could, like, kind of control certain things of the vision, if that made sense, and I wanted to know what that felt like. And I definitely had, like, it felt like there was another sense that I could feel more about what was going around me. And then when the vision ended, I lost that. Is kind of why I feel dizzy and fell over, because it felt like I was losing a sense. I feel fine now, though.
You're not going to go on a mushroom crusade or anything?
No, I have no interest in spreading the mushrooms around.
All right.
But I definitely think something is down there that we should probably take a look at.
Well, if you think it's important, we can go in the morning.
Yeah, I think that would work. Rest you on board?
Works for me.
And then while we're down there, I could definitely take a look to see if there's any interesting minerals. Kind of gives a sly grin.
As long as there's not anybody changing out skull heads, that would be grand.
Ooh, boy, I get to roll a dice. Hang on a second. That's... What is a D10 going to tell me when there's 4 of you?
Uh-oh.
I was just like, oh, I need to do something randomly. Oh, shoot. Useless.
That you're bad at choosing dice.
Bad at math.
All right. So, does anyone want to do anything as you're setting up camp? Any conversations you need to have? Anything like that?
I don't think so.
I think if we're going to go down into the cave tomorrow, we should be sure to take a light source. I was thinking back about what Moll had said when she had encountered the mushrooms out in the wilds, and she had said they pull back when they avoid light, and at night is when they open up and drop spores. So, I think we bring any and all flashlights we have, and perhaps we can shine a mirror of sunlight down there. That wouldn't go amiss either.
Well, most of us still have our weapons or whatever from Fred, that the glowy metal ones, right?
That's true.
So I think that should ideally cover us in terms of light sources. We're usually pretty good with that.
And this would be a good opportunity to test our solution on more mushrooms.
Yes, we should definitely bring a handful of those at least.
How am I feeling with that, Cody, by the way?
Right now, you don't feel anything. I guess you and Fred both don't feel anything at the moment.
That at the moment is so harrowing.
Why would Cody give us a straight answer when he could say at the moment at the end? It's like playing it's like you're safe for now.
The end, question mark.
All right, so anything anyone wants to do other than like setting up camp and taking watches?
I don't think so.
I want to talk to Willow during my watch.
Is that a conversation you want to have, or is it just like a... it can be, I just don't know if you want to do that or if you don't want to do that.
I don't know if I have a point to the scene, you know what I mean?
So, no, see, Zach, what you're supposed to do is make up something so that this isn't actually 2 episodes, it's like 6.
I'm fine with doing it, like, I don't mind role-playing that, I just don't have, like, a narrative point I'm aiming for, you know? Actually, no, I do want to do it, I want to check in, because I want to know information back home. Because Estelle shared that things are getting a little bit tense.
Okay.
So I want to talk to Willow.
Okay. Who is taking the first watch?
If I'm talking to someone, I'm taking the first watch.
All right.
I want her to forgive me and not hate me forever for waking her up at 3 a.m.
All right. You can phone Willow or radio Willow.
Hello.
Hello, Autumn. How are things over there?
Well, about as good as we were expecting. A lot of mushrooms. But they're not across the river yet? They're mostly on one side of the river.
I guess that's a good thing.
How are things back home?
Tense, I guess, is the right way to put it. Nothing's reached our immediate fields yet, but there are beginning to be noticed effects in some of the animals that are being taken care of by Mitchell. So that's not the best thing. He's trying to, like, single out parts of the herd, keep them from eating them while they're on the forest floor. It's a whole thing.
That sounds stressful for him. Has any person eaten any of them yet?
Not that we know of yet. No one has acted that differently, but food supply is going to start being an issue at some point. Like, we do rely on livestock in the woods that seems to be drying up, so that's going to be a problem.
Well, hopefully we're gonna be finding a solution soon.
I hope so, because this is not the best.
Yeah, I don't love all the mushrooms everywhere. And the amount... We've met another person who said we should definitely eat the mushrooms. The amount of people who've eaten mushrooms and say that there's absolutely zero downsides to eating the mushrooms makes me wary. It's like hypothetically everyone's saying like a place called Ohio is great and we should all be from there. Makes me skeptical.
I understand what you mean. I don't know. Everything out here is so weird. I really have no clear sense of what the right answer is.
Me neither. They all feel bad, and I worry jumping from one bad thing to the next. You know?
I think that's our job. I think we jump from bad things to bad things.
I mean, I hope not. Like, I hope we're on an upward trajectory after I died and you were a tree. You know what I mean? Like, I'm hoping they're less bad each jump.
I think right after that, we did get lost in an unknown forest forever, so it did get worse from there.
I'm gonna level with you. I don't think you being a tree or us being lost in the unknown forever was worse than you losing sentience and me being dead. I'm gonna be honest, I think that was actually rock bottom.
I guess I was thinking more on, like, the settlement level, but for us personally, I was not a fan of being a tree or you being dead. I got to miss you being dead, which was nice.
That does sound a little bit nicer, but again, giving up sentience seems rough trade, you know?
It was not great, so...
It was kind of like me being dead really wasn't an inconvenience to me, per se, like, because I didn't feel it, but I was less of a world shaker at that point, if we're being completely honest.
Yeah. Well, I guess all I can say is hurry back and try to find something, because the settlement needs you and all that, but also I miss you. It'd be nice if you were back. I'm tired of running the place by myself.
I don't help run the place.
No, you help me, and that helps me run the place.
Well, I'm just saying, you said you're running the place by yourself, and me being back doesn't help you run the place not alone.
It does because I'm not alone, then.
Oh, that way not alone. I mean, because I am good eye candy.
Well, yeah, you're also emotional support and all that, but, you know.
I know you can't see. I'm flexing right now. I know you can't see, but I am flexing.
I could hear it through the radio. I'm blushing through the radio. Have a good night, Autumn. I hope you get back soon.
Me too.
Alright. Rest of the night passes quietly. You're very high up. There is not much here. Just the kind of sound of rushing water pouring into a cave. Who do you wake up next?
I'll wake up Estelle, and I will fill her in on what Willow told me about, like, Mitchell, just so she kind of has, if not peace of mind, at least knows what's going on. So, it sounds like we need to do all that this quickly. As if we were taking our time before. I know we weren't, but, you know, the mushrooms are moving faster than we hoped.
That's basically what I got from Mitchell when I spoke with him. Doesn't seem like the right term, but when I reached out to him before. So, okay, hopefully whatever's in the cave doesn't take that long in the morning and we can keep going.
Fingers crossed. I mean, if it does give us, like, some version of an early mushroom that can help us, maybe that will be useful at the very least.
Well, that's what I mean, is hopefully it's worth it.
Alright, I'm gonna go sleep.
Alright, Estelle, anything you want to do on this watch?
Let's see. This has got to be like, I don't know, midnight or so.
Yes.
No, I'll save my fate point. I debated reaching out to Matthew, but
Okay.
I'll save that.
Are you sitting on the boat, or are you sitting on the bank?
I'm sitting wherever the group decided to be. If we're all sleeping on the boat, I'm on the boat. If we all are on the bank, I'm on the bank.
I think I would have voted to sleep on the boat.
Yeah, one last night on the boat before we have to walk.
Yeah.
I'm also assuming it's a little bit comfier. Like, I'm guessing we, like, put some bedding down, you know, or...
Yeah.
Yeah, we had more supplies available this time around.
As you kind of start, you sit down and start keeping watch, there's, like, some leaves and stuff that had fallen on the deck of the boat, and you don't really feel a breeze pick up or anything, but you just see those leaves starting to kind of swirl and dance around each other as a figure sort of looms and builds itself out of a dark corner in the boat.
Does Guffy, lift his head?
Yeah. There's a similar earthen smell as the forest phantom limps over to you. Half her body's still kind of messed up. It seems like it's gotten worse as, you can see a sprouting of mushrooms where there used to be kind of barky, mossy skin.
I think Estelle was probably, by the light of her... What does she have? She's got a flashlight. By the light of her, flashlight from the metal that Fred had, she was taking notes on everything that we've dealt with so far, and specifically, what they ended up doing for Echo. And I think she kind of does that, she's still busy, so she, notices that out of, the corner of her eye, and goes back to, finishing writing what she's doing before she looks up. But before she looks up, I think she says, I was wondering when we would see you again.
I am sorry that I abandoned you in that cave with that beast.
Water under the bridge? I don't think we were specifically expecting you to do anything for us, but it felt wrong leaving you in a cage.
That is generous. How goes your quest?
We're still trying to figure out, I guess, exactly what's going on. I'm surprised you're as invested in this one.
I am invested in my own existence. The mushroom's spreading. She, gestures at the parts of herself that are falling apart. Will continue to rot me.
Fair enough. So you're just, the physical manifestation of the forest?
Yes. The reason I have come this evening is to bring a warning. Across this mountain, things are more progressed, and I fear you may face grave danger.
Estelle, stretches. Yeah, I think we kind of got that impression from a lot of different sources, at this point. So, I don't suppose you have any suggestions of what to do along with that warning?
The hunters that captured you and your friend, the ones that captured me, they are intelligent and cruel and have been in my forest for a long, long time.
Same type of beings, or just the hunters in general?
The ones who could change their bodies with skulls.
Yeah, okay.
Their home is across the mountains. I believe you may have a map already to its location, but that is their territory, where they feel they own the land, where they can hunt at will, and I believe they will not want you to finish what you are intending.
No, I don't suppose so. Again, I guess we just gotta get this done quick. Okay. Guess move as fast as we can and stay vigilant.
Indeed. And again, I caution you, do not trust anything across these mountains. Do not trust their lies. Do not trust their motives. They wish to see me dead.
Yeah, I guess the few people now that we've talked to that have the mushroom's influence seem to think that way. So I feel like we kind of know what we're going up against.
I hope you are right for my sake.
I don't suppose with you being so affected by them, you have any extra hints for us? Anything, any clue you can give us to how to stop this, or just keep doing what we're doing and try to destroy the home base?
The only thing I can say is that there is some luck on your side. Many of them have gone to the heart of this place. They wish to see this disease spread far beyond just my forest, to all worlds connected by it. In the short term, this benefits you because it means I believe there are less of them between you and the destination that you seek.
Well, I certainly hope that's true.
So do I. And she stands and puts her hand on the floor of the boat, and you see like a brief green glow, and a little seed sits where she had her hand planted. I leave this for you. It may be of some help. And she walks into a dark corner of the boat, slowly fading into just a rustle of leaves.
Okay, so you're not going to tell me what that is?
Fading into a pile of leaves.
Okay. Thank you.
You know, something I do really love about RPGs with you both is that Mandy is still a logistical planner and Cody's all about them vibes. Where he's like, I left you a retreat. And then she fades away. And Mandy's like, tell me the answer. What does this do? And Cody's like,
no.
It's about the vibes, Mandy. The vibes are already there.
Rustle of leaves.
Guess. Okay. I guess I do the rest of my watch. Assuming nothing else happens.
Nothing else happens.
I don't know. Who wants to be woken up next?
I'll go.
Alright. Estelle will wake up Juliet.
Alright, Juliet, anything you want to do on your watch?
Are there visible mushrooms from the boat?
No.
Okay. I think she is going to, like, sketch out, just kind of, like, imagining evolutions of the mushrooms, like, from what she's seen, like, backwards and forwards. Like, just to stay awake, you know?
Okay, cool. I like that. Alright. Night passes without much interest, and it is Fred's turn.
I don't think Fred's gonna do a whole lot.
He's had a busy evening already.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, he'll kind of ponder over his vision more, but nothing specific he wants to do.
Okay. All right, so you pass the evening relatively peacefully. Morning comes. You guys can have a quick breakfast of supplies still on the boat. And you said you next move is investigate the cave?
Yep.
All right. So, is there any, like, pre-stuff you want to do before you head in there, or are you just kind of going in and seeing what it is?
I'm heating up everyone's
glowy bits.
Glowy items so that we all have light sources from that.
Cool.
Estelle will fill in everyone, even though I think, honestly, she didn't give us a whole lot of info. She'll fill in everyone on what the Forest Phantom said, and that we now have yet another unknown gift from her. I guess we know it's a seed.
I wonder if it's like a reverse mushroom bomb. You know, like if they eat it, they turn into the forest.
I was kind of wondering if we blight out the mushrooms, if it's like something to take its place.
That's where my head was at. I figure if we were able to eradicate them, we can plant this seed and hopefully repopulate.
That being said, I don't know how much I trust her.
Yeah, I mean, I've taken everything what she says with a grain of salt.
She is a little more involved than she has been in other things.
Well, it seems to be affecting her immediately.
It is pretty funny, though, how she's like, I'll have to let nature take its course. It is the way of things. And then she starts dying instead of us, and all of a sudden she's like, we need to stop this. This is kind of messed up, everybody.
Yeah, I'm not too thrilled, though, about the idea of, like, it'd be one thing if the mushrooms were just focused on, like, taking over her forest or the forest or whatever. But the fact that it's talking about spreading into new places that it feels like it shouldn't be. I understand why she's more involved this time.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't have to like it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But Honestly, them spreading as fast as they are, like, and trying to reach other worlds immediately is honestly my concern about them. Like, the wilds may be spreading, but it feels unguided, where this just feels...
This feels targeted.
Yeah, and it only takes one malicious actor to, like... You know, you get one chef who's like, maybe more people should eat this mushroom.
I think, yeah, we load up with our glowy things and an amount of our anti-mushroom solution.
Head on in.
I think so.
All right. So as you start making your way into this cave, the entrance to it is pretty large. Like, it's fairly massive. Like, quite a lot of this lake is pouring down into this river. Or into this cave that, like, it's basically just a river that pours down in the cave. It's kind of a rapid, and there's rocks on either side that you can kind of clamber down. And once you're in this kind of dark, like, wet area, you can see that there are little sprouts of these mushrooms growing on, like, maybe driftwood that falls down, whatever, some decaying plant matter that's there. There are these little, like, tufts of these mushrooms growing as you delve deeper and deeper into this cave.
What happens if we wave one of our glowy items over the tufts?
You can see that they do retract a little bit, and are less, like, open and lush looking.
Okay, so these definitely can and should be used defensively. Juliet kind of, like, waves her glowy grabby.
Anything you're learning here, Juliet?
It's just that they retract from these as well as the sunlight, so, or light sources, generally.
I just didn't know if they're, like, these proto-mushrooms were giving you some insight or anything.
I can do a roll for that. Can I do plant identification with the intention of finding out how these mushrooms maybe differ from the ones that we're seeing closer to Smoky Banks?
Yep.
+3.
So it takes you a while to kind of find good samples of this. Like, a lot of the mushrooms are either kind of really small, damaged, maybe you're not getting, like, a full... Because, like, mushrooms are just, like, the fruit of a mycelial network, right? So, one thing you do notice is these ones are far more UV repelled than the other mushrooms you had seen that are obviously growing above land. There are some characteristics in, like, coloring and shape, but these are, like, a different mushroom that seem like they were maybe co-opted in or, like, adapted to become part of this other nest of mushrooms, right? Like, these were an independent thing that were then changed.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so, like, as you go down, you're still standing next to, like, this fairly wide, deep river, right? So it's, like, a little bit treacherous as you're, like, stepping your way down. And as you look down, right, so it's, like, water kind of going down at a gentle slope. By the time you get to where you get to, like, the main heart of this, like, growth of mushrooms and mycelial network, you can actually see sunlight at the bottom of this cave and, like, water pouring down.
Okay. And there are mushrooms in the light, you're saying? Or no?
Do you want to go all the way that far?
Well, I guess if I see, like, a shaft of sunlight, do I see mushrooms in the shaft of sunlight?
Sorry, shaft of sunlight. I mean, you see the other end of the cave.
Oh, okay. So, like, the river kind of flows through this cave.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, yeah, if we can keep walking next to the river towards the sunlight, I think I'm fine with that.
Sure. So you keep walking down, and you eventually hit a part where it's sort of like you've gone down pretty steeply here and, like, pretty straight down as, like, water cut through the rock over time. You eventually come out into a valley cut in the mountains. You're, like, now on the other side of the mountain range. And there's just, like, a river coming down towards a larger, like, big, wide river, like, very wide river that's running from north to south, right? The picture that you see, though, off in the distance is very strange. Like, walking out into light on the other side of this mountain, feels like it did when you used to walk into different worlds. There is almost no plant life that you can see, but you can see extremely large sprouts of mushrooms. It seems like they grow, instead of being like one giant mushroom, you know, it's like you can see that they've like structurally grown up and are then like fruiting off of it. It almost, what would be like the right way to put this? Like, there are stalks of like mycelial network growing out of the ground with then mushrooms fruiting off of them all over the place.
Okay.
And this is just what you see like from the river, right? As you look out, because you're kind of high up still, like the river's still kind of flowing down. As you look out across the landscape, so if you're like looking at the map, you're like here, right? Where I'm drawing in red. So there's actually like the mountain range ends in a forest and then hits that river. That forest is entirely just these like massive stalks of then fruiting mycelial network that are like branching like arches through this whole area. And you can barely see any green plant life at all. It is almost entirely mushrooms. And that is true as far as you can see, looking to the east.
Okay. Does the sunlight seem the same? Is there the same number of suns in the sky?
Mm-hmm.
Seems like the same time of day.
Yeah, when I say it felt like it did when you went to another place, I just mean that this is a stark difference.
Okay.
This is an area that has been disconnected from this other. Basically what it is the mushrooms couldn't grow over the mountains, and it took a while for them to grow up this river.
Okay.
And then adapt to where they could grow across it and then down the other side.
Okay.
But this area has been fully taken over by this fungus for a long time.
Okay. And so the fungus that we see like across this area, does it look more like the co-opted ones that we saw in the cave, or does it look more like the ones that are approaching Smoky Banks?
What I would say strikes out to you is that this is a fairly diverse ecosystem of mushrooms. Like, there's not one type.
Okay, so it's lots of different types, like all spreading a lot more rapidly and aggressively than any of them would normally.
Yes.
Okay.
I like how you didn't make one mushroom poisonous, Cody. You made them all poisonous.
Poisonous is a harsh way to describe them.
Can I ask a quick question?
Mm-hmm.
This is tangential, but as we've been going up the mountain, how has the weather been?
It got colder as you went north, but this is like autumn time, so it's pretty cool.
But has it been like particularly cloudy? Like, you said that like the mushrooms don't do well with sunlight.
The ones in the cave didn't.
Okay.
Not all of them are as photosensitive. I think that if you got right up in their face with really bright stuff, they wouldn't love it, but that's different than being like instantly. They're not like vampires.
Okay, and we're not like walking specifically toward like a storm cloudy area.
Nope.
Ugh, okay.
Oh, I like what you're thinking though.
I don't even know what I'm thinking, but yeah, go with it.
Yeah, then looking back up the way you came, Juliet, you can see that basically like the river on that side of the mountain that pours down to the main one that runs from north to south basically connects all the way up to that cave and is fed from that same lake that you were in.
Yeah, okay. So if we look here, Estelle, do you have your map? And she like gestures for her to pull out the map. I think coming through this cave has meant that we've crossed the mountains. And we'd have to cross on foot anyway, so I think this is probably the easiest way to continue our journey northeast.
How are we getting there? Like, they're gonna know we're here, right?
Probably.
So we're gonna be hunted pretty immediately, right?
That's a distinct possibility.
So how are we gonna make it these miles?
Well, the same way we've made any miles through the wilds, through tenacity and quick thinking.
Move as fast as we can and double up on nighttime watches.
All right.
Did you have a suggestion, Autumn?
Absolutely none, but I'm not the planner. But our two planners just said, pray and run fast.
Yes,
so.
Thank you, Autumn. That's what we said. We said pray. That is not what we said. Thank you. Thank you for contributing to the conversation.
What do you want me to say? Like, I'm not the one who comes up with ideas. The boat was what I had, and we're out of... Well, I guess we could flow up the river, but that seems counterintuitive with the map.
I don't think our boat would fit through the rocky rapids that we just kind of scrambled down next to.
Do you want to do a check on that?
You said it was like straight down.
No, I did not. I said it was a rapids. Did not say it was straight down.
You did. No, you did. You said we had clambered like straight down.
No, okay. Yeah. Okay, sorry. I did say that. Let me rephrase. It is like flowing down. It's pretty steep. That is not to say like a waterfall. It's not a waterfall.
Okay, but if we had to climb straight down, that means the water also would have to do that.
When I say straight down, what I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. That gave the wrong impression.
Ignore straight down, basically.
What I meant by straight down is that it is not like, what's the right way to put this?
Like, it doesn't wind back and forth.
Yes. It doesn't wind back and forth, and it isn't like, it's a straight, it's like, the direction is a straight line. It isn't like doing one of these numbers going down.
And up and down, up and down. Okay. But we'd still have to haul our boat back up.
Or walk back.
Over rapids.
Or walk back when we don't have mushrooms.
Let me say this, as a GM, you can try to run your boat down this, and I think the worst case scenario would be you would crash your now useless boat. Your otherwise useless boat.
Okay. Investigate. Notice.
Sure, yeah, roll a notice.
4.
It would be dangerous. This would definitely be dangerous and risky, but it is not impossible. And certainly you could go faster on a boat, even going upriver, and eventually you'd have to go across a larger body of water as well.
Yeah, because we'd have to kind of go like southeast and then back northeast. Yeah, there's like a tributary that hooks up with a main river that we could go northeast on, but we would have to kind of backtrack.
Cody's saying it would still save us time to go.
Yes.
It's just you might also crash the boat if you roll really bad.
Right.
We have an amount of fate points left.
Some of you do.
You have an amount left.
My amount is 1, but yeah, sure.
I mean, that's non-zero, like I have.
So I suppose we could navigate our boat through here, and it looks like there's plenty of water from here to the spore home, even if we have to backtrack a bit. Do we want to stick with the boat?
I mean, it does give us a little bit more defense over water, because I don't think the mushrooms are going to be lily pads, but at this point, I feel like all bets are off.
Well, yes, I do feel like we'd be a little more out of reach on flowing water versus traipsing on top of spore-releasing mycelial networks.
Well, looking at the map, it looks like we could potentially get... it looks like basically the whole way up to the home on the boat. So,
and we'll need to cross water anyway to get to the spore home because it's technically an island.
Yes.
Separate from this. So I guess it's good fortune that we can get our boat through here. For whatever reason, I have this foreboding sense that we're being, like, led into something. That's maybe crazy.
No, I don't think that's a wrong way to think about it. It's certainly, talking to the Phantom last night, like, she was very, they were very forward about how dangerous this is, what we're going into. But I don't know who else would do it.
Well, I guess let's head back to the boat and start picking our way through.
Alright, you guys get to make me a navigating down the rapids roll.
Roll well, dice, roll well. I'll take it.
Alright, down the list.
3.
+4. Do you want us to tell you what we're doing now?
We'll do it after.
Okay.
+5.
+2.
Alright. Pretty good. Gotta say, pretty good. Almost in a way that I find disappointing. Gonna level with you here.
Ha ha ha.
Not great for me as, like, the difficulty that I set and how well you all rolled, kind of. Would have... had a whole sequence planned for this, if I'm being honest with you, and
We're not losing that boat.
you guys actually rolled well enough that, because you guys hadn't been rolling that well on these checks all the time. You like really did pretty bad on these like 3 times, and one time you did this well before. So
We just frolicked right past that challenge.
I set the difficulty maybe too low. Anyways, tell me what you all do.
So I imagine we have to like clamber back up to get back to our boat, right? And so like
Yeah.
as we're doing that, Juliet is like mentally marking like, okay, this is the path we might need to take on the boat, and then is like specifically noticing when we're going back down in the boat, like, okay, this is the spot that I noticed that was deep enough for us. This is where there's a hidden rock that's hard to see from this angle, you know, like that sort of thing.
Yeah. What about Estelle?
Estelle is once again throwing her weight into actually maneuvering the boat. So I'm assuming Autumn is going to be doing the same thing. So that way we have 2 people, one on either side, being able to push off of rocks and things like that.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think there's a little bit more of like we like rock scramble a little bit where it's like usually we're like more like easily moving it, where this time where it's like let's push off the rocks and dodge them that way, you know.
Yeah. What's Fred up to while you guys are doing this?
Fred is back up in the crow's nest, kind of pointing out things that are upcoming, like being, hey, watch out for that rock over there. Hey, there's that one off the port side.
So the way this works out, you guys start, and this is like a really uncomfortable feeling as you're basically like rocking yourselves up to a roller coaster, and then you push yourselves over, and it's like, woo! You know? And as you're going down, you have this like, you can like see images of this going wrong, right? As you're like, it's dimly lit, you can barely see the rocks, even with Fred up there. And you can like feel moments where you're like, if we hadn't taken the time coming back up here to map out where these rocks were, we definitely would have been like pinballing off of these rocks, right? For sure. This would be bad. As your lights are like bobbing and flickering, and Juliet just manages to remember where all these rocks are. Meanwhile, there's like points where the current is clearly pushing you either into like places where it basically would want to scoop you under, or where it's trying to push you into big rocks or into falls that you don't want to hit. And again, just like Estelle and Autumn are just like in perfect sync, managing to muscle their way around all of those currents. There's like times when you can feel the boat like almost tipping, and then the other one like compensates and is like, no, we got this, as you are like hopping your way down. And then at like a crucial moment, Fred's up there looking out. It's like, yeah, Juliet has this perfect map, but hey, a rock slid because of one that we bumped into before, and manages to call that out as you guys like jump over that as well and
disappoint Cody.
Swish out unscathed into the sunlight after doing good enough on a check that all those things that I said before didn't happen and didn't have to be dealt with in like a cool action sequence. Screw you guys. Roll worse for once.
We've been rolling worse for you this whole arc. Remember that time where you're like, sneak to get into Lance's thing? I'll give you 3 tries to not fail, and then we failed each time.
Yeah, you did terribly, and that's sort of like the difficulty that I was setting this at. Man, no. You nailed it this time. All right, you're all kind of like cascade down into a slower flowing river at this point that isn't rapiding like it was behind you. As you start snaking your way down south, which your intention is to eventually go back north, but according to the map, you have to go south, hit the main river, and then start going north. The landscape is extremely alien, and this trip does take a decent amount of time. Even with the boat adding speed, there is no way for this to be quick, right? So you make your way south, and probably on like the first night of you guys being in this part of the continent that you're on right now, it's like right at the junction of the big main river is where you make your first camp. The first night that you're here, when the sun sets, you can see glowing in this like arching mycelial kind of, I don't know what to call it. I don't want to say forest. That isn't exactly the right word. It's more like a pipe work, right? it's like a, or network, right? This mycelial network that's growing out of the ground at this point. You can see pockets of it are glowing as there's different species that are bioluminescence and glow at night. Even on the river where it is like less mushroomy, you can smell that there is like this must of spores being dropped in the evening as it is spreading and propagating itself throughout all of this. The mushrooms themselves are just growing on like years and years and years of trees decaying is basically what they're all growing on top of right now. And then there's probably like 4 more days of just going up this river, right? And each day that passes is...
So we've hit the main river, right?
Yeah, like you've hit the main river. Each day that passes, you get kind of more accustomed to seeing these mushrooms, like it's less immediately alien, as you see this sort of cream white and gray. There's rusty oranges and bright reds, and some occasional blues and purples scattered throughout this as you're slowly and quietly using the electric motor of your boat and the poles to guide yourself up this river that is quite wide and fairly gentle to fight the current against. It flows from north to south. The further north you go, you get to where the mushrooms had been there longer and longer, and you do start seeing off to the right, there's a mountain range, right, off to the right eventually, but closer towards the bank even, you can see where some of this mushroom has grown to the point where it's eaten all of the nutrients that are there and is starting to decay a little bit. And you can see like bare earth under it and occasional sprouts of other plants, but those are rare. But you do see little pockets of that here and there as you make your way north. Now, I will say this is a kind of open-ended time where you can do some investigation if you want to get off and walk around. Try to learn more about this, you can, but that's up to you. This is not one of those, like, super loaded, if you do this, there's, like, no way to come back from it or no way to not come back from it questions. This is just, like, actual open-ended opportunity. If you have questions about how this is working, you can ask.
I don't think I want to get off the boat because it feels like that's an opportunity to be ambushed by mushroom people.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, too.
I agree, and I was looking at my skills, and Cody said I can ask questions, but looking at my skills, that's all I can do.
Yeah, and I don't particularly want to get closer to any... I don't want to get any closer to any mushrooms than I have to right now.
Amen.
All right, so I just drew a red dot on the map where you are. So I'll say that you guys...
Oh, wow. That's a lot further up than I thought we were.
Several days pass here, yeah, where there is not a lot, but river.
Oh, I thought we'd be further, honestly. Because it took us like a day to get from Lance's town to the lake. And then it's about a day.
Yeah.
It's about the same distance to get down to the tribute, like where it meets up with the river. So then another day.
Yeah, maybe like here-ish.
It could be a slower...
4 on the main river?
No, 4 total.
Oh, 4 total. Okay.
So this is like another evening looking out over this, land of mushrooms. As the sun starts setting, that luminous glow starts to happen. As you look kind of back towards the south, towards that sort of ring of mountains that happened, you can see a density in that glowing, right? In that place that's labeled the fortress, I think, or the stronghold of the mycelial hunters, right? And as you look out towards that glowing, you see something that again is never comfortable, which is wings against light. A shape flaps its way towards you. It's like roughly man-sized and is sort of like a big bat. It's a very Dracula-looking thing that's flapping its way towards you, seemingly from the, southeast. It draws closer and closer, like clearly making a beeline towards you. Is there anything that any of you guys want to do before anything else happens?
Light a torch.
Okay.
Rustle around for some anti-mushroom solution.
Do you just like watch it? Just watch it come towards you?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh wait, Fred has a bow, right?
Yeah.
Does he know how to shoot a bow?
I mean, he did well that one time. And he's been theoretically practicing.
Does he want to shoot at it or no? You can go either way.
Is it like bearing down on us, or is it...
It's flying towards you, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess Fred will take a shot. I guess fighting?
I'll take fighting, I guess, yeah.
Okay.
He's not making a courtesy call.
He could be. We don't know.
2.
Okay, so I'll say you, like, shoot your bow up towards it, and it, like, catches it in the wing as it sort of, like, falters and flutters down towards the ground, and kind of, like, you hear a soft thump as it hits mushrooms, like, sort of near the bank that you're closest to, right? You hear a voice shouting over the, like, gentle flow of the river. Is that any way to greet an old friend? First, you lock me in a well, I guess I locked you in a cave, and then you blew me up, and now you fire arrows at me.
This is the guy. This is the guy with the heads, the skulls.
The one who shot you'd never met you, technically.
I assumed my reputation preceded me.
I mean, that doesn't make us friends, though. Like, I've heard of a lot of people. That doesn't mean I'm friends with a lot of people.
Would you like to be friends?
No, we don't need to talk to him. We've already talked to him enough for a lifetime.
I'm being told no, you're not a good friend. You lock people in caves, and then they have to blow you up.
I apologize for my previous behavior. Might we talk?
I still vote no.
You can say that. I don't have to be the envoy. No! We're good, thanks!
Is there a reason beyond... I thought we didn't have that bad of a first impression as they go.
I saw what you did to my actual friend, and she was very hurt after you had a nice...
She blew herself. I didn't do that. That was self-inflicted.
Hey, Juliet, how much of that was self-inflicted?
Well,
Is it not as much as he wants it to be?
it was somewhat self-inflicted, but
100% self-inflicted.
the whole point was
You know,
it was self-inflicted because we were trapped and had no way out, and we're stuck with the only other option to leave being eating a mushroom, and that wasn't an option that I was comfortable with, or Estelle was comfortable with, or Misha was comfortable with, and so I did maybe act with a bit less planning than usual, and that backfired slightly, but we were still locked in a cave against our will. So
wasn't she also injured by the guy? Didn't he like punch her?
I was trying to be sneaky, and I got thrown across the room, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think you did get tossed around a little bit.
That's not self-inflicted, though. Like, this is Zach, not Autumn, arguing the point. Like, if I do something wrong, that is a different thing than I punch myself in the face. Like, if I steal your microphone and then you throw me through a wall, my wounds are not self-inflicted. It is the result of my action.
Hey, Zach, you're assuming that this guy's being rational.
Or that he shares a morality with you, yeah. Neither of which are exactly true. Is there anything I could do to be trustworthy for a moment, please?
Yes, you could go back to your home and leave us alone. That would do wonders.
I think that would end up worse for you. I'm trying to help in this case.
Let me guess, don't destroy the mushrooms. Eat one, it'll be great. We'll have a good time. It's for your own good.
Not exactly the point that's being made here. I just don't want to shout. I could sit on the bank, you could point your bow at me, all that.
It's all up to you guys. I don't know what's going on here.
Fine, what does he have to say? Maybe he'll accidentally drop some sort of hint, and we'll be able to run with it.
You okay with this, Estelle?
Yeah, I'm okay hearing what he has to say.
So, you kind of see walking towards the bank and then sitting down this creature who, like I said, you can see there are mushrooms growing on him and in him, but his body itself is also somewhat fluid as it is able to take on other skeletons. He actually has a bag of skulls with him that he just carries around in the case that he needs to swap one out. And as he sits down, he reaches into his face and pulls out one skull and puts in one that just has a larger mouth, and you can see his chest and neck kind of increase in size.
Is that necessary?
This one's slightly louder, so yes.
Where is he?
He's like on the bank.
Oh, okay.
I don't expect the answer to be yes, but if you did just want to eat the mushrooms and not kill them, that would, obviously, I'm going to assume that's a no, though, right?
It's a no.
So, I am here to warn you. My brethren do not know that I am here talking to you, but...
Don't you all know everything about each other?
No, we don't have we can't read each other's minds, we just share a common goal and have an awareness of each other. Likely, there are those like me that know that I am here. That is not the same thing as knowing every one of my thoughts. But I am here to plead. Please do not destroy what you are here to destroy. Obviously, where we sit now is largely consumed by the fungus that you seek to kill, and doing so will end all of this.
What is this?
Everything growing here right now, my home, and possibly me. I am unsure what will happen to us if the fungus inside of us dies, and I would like to not find out.
Do you have a different proposal?
Yeah, a different proposal would be helpful because we can't let you continue to spread. That's not an option that we're okay with.
I understand that.
Do you? Because everything you guys do is about the mushrooms have to kill the forest and the forest has to kill the mushrooms. And either way, it seems like all of us lose. Either we are subservient to the forest and the whims of them, or we become mushrooms focused on propagating mushrooms.
I think that is accurate to a point. I am maybe more generous than some of those that I side with. I am aware that, much like this forest, the ecosystem currently growing here probably has some kind of expiration date. I don't pretend to know when it is. I know that eating this mushroom and becoming a part of it does come with the impulse to support its spread, but I don't know if that can be tempered or controlled or checked. But I know that continuing for you will mean you will have to fight many like me, and they will not take the time to talk with you as I am. They have different heads, he says, and kind of shakes his bag of skulls.
So what made you change your mind?
Talking to you helped. Watching all of you helped.
What have you been watching?
I was spying on all of you for a few weeks before we met and talked.
A few weeks?
Yeah, a bit. I have many skulls. Some are quite small.
So what's your plan then? We just don't do this and the mushrooms consume us.
I don't have a plan. I have a warning. I think if you continue, you will be attacked. I have a request. Please don't kill my home and potentially me. I understand we got off on the wrong foot. I was maybe too eager. And then a suggestion. I don't know. I'm different than I was. I still have my own thoughts, even though I really would like for the mushrooms to spread.
Is there someone in charge? If we end up going all the way to the spore home, is there a singular being or a singular mushroom that this is all stemming from?
I am not a scientist, but I will give you my best understanding. There is no one that outranks us. There is not a being that we take command from. There is just us. We were infected by those mushrooms and given the impulse to spread them. I did not love what the forest had done to us for years, and so sided with its potential destruction.
What did the forest do to you?
The same thing as it's done to all of you, I assume. Drugged me here, left me here for, at this point now, coming up on generations, not even just generation, tortured us, made it almost impossible to survive, pitted us against other civilizations, which in some ways was valuable in that it led to a great deal of technology for us to borrow, but has also put us in a constant state of fighting.
That's not the forest phantom, though.
Not the phantom, but this place.
What? Okay. If the mushrooms take over, does that mean all potential places that move here stop doing that? Like, I don't understand that. Like, I understand that there is an impulse inside of you that wants to spread. But if you're upset with what the forest has done to you, is it the forest that is doing this, or is this just some plane of existence that occasionally drags things into it? And is being mushrooms going to change that?
I was changed differently by the mushrooms than I was by the forest. I think the change still happened, it was just the type of change was different.
But again, we don't know if that's going to stop other places from being drug into this existence.
Honestly, I think from what we know, even if that stops happening randomly, your friends or compatriots or whatever are already sending out feelers to drag other places here.
I don't think they want to drag other places here. I do think they want to spread mushrooms to other places.
Which, okay, that's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Sort of. It is a desire for these mushrooms to leave this place, yes.
It's not the fact that they want to leave, like we all want to leave. It's the fact that it wants to spread.
Yes. Yes.
Like, if it wanted its own home planet where it could just be fine, that's different than what it's doing is infecting every known world, reality, place. And it's an organism that can adapt to anything. Like, I don't know about you, but where I'm come from, mushrooms don't usually take over people.
Hadn't happened before to us either, no.
So you see how that's alarming, right?
I do.
Okay, so circling back, if there is no singular being or something that is in charge or an overhead, is there a way to get across a new objective or a new goal or find some kind of compromise with everything that's been infected by the mushrooms?
I think there is. I would like to think there is.
Like, okay,
You're not going to like how.
Oh, how? One of us takes it and...
Eat the mushroom.
Okay,
Is it all of us eat the mushroom or one of us eat the mushroom?
I think it's one of us.
Well, it could be any number of you. I have an opinion, but I'm trying to be nicer about it, because last time you blew me up.
You seem fine, honestly.
I did bounce back pretty well.
How does one of us eating the mushroom solve anything? It's just one more. It's just one down out of 4 of us that the mushrooms want to take over. It's not going to be suddenly satisfied.
You're a scientist, correct?
Yes.
I am not. I have no idea how to balance this or how to control it or why you would even want to. You might.
See, but I understand what you're saying, but we met a scientist, and do you want to know what her she had 2 sole focuses. Get out of the room she was in, and get people to eat the mushroom. That's it. That's all she wanted to do.
It means that if one of us takes the mushroom, we're going to have to figure out if we can hang on to a part of us. The part of us that is determined to stop them. And we have no idea if that would work, in the same way that we don't know if we can eradicate the mushrooms from a person without hurting them.
Someone would have to single-handedly mentally turn the tide of the whole mycelial complex?
That's what it sounds like.
I mean, we have an alternative. If Skullface over here wants to figure out if he's going to die or not, we could remove the fungus from him.
If he wants.
Yeah, I'm not saying we force it on him, but this, like, if he wanted to learn if he's going to die when we kill this,
He could. Or, why don't you? I don't know that we've shared names, but, why don't you turn the tide towards sustainable growth instead of unchecked expansion across the galaxy?
I don't believe I have the knowledge to do so.
And why would any of us, then?
You're a scientist. I steal information and abilities from others. It's what we do to adapt and survive. But we don't really understand how much of it works. Like that generator you blew up in my little den, I didn't know it could do that. I didn't know it would do that.
Well, I didn't either. So, we're in the same boat there.
Right, but, you know.
I feel like the time you've had to figure things out, though, means something, at least with your weird network you have. You know, you've been here generations. That counts for something, you know. Usually experience is meaningful.
Well, I'll still be technically helping in this endeavor. You know, we'll just be doing it together then. That being said, you said that you have a way to purge the mushroom from something.
Potentially.
But it is untested.
Correct.
Vaguely.
On humans. Or humanoid figures.
Fred and I ate some, and we're still breathing.
I would say this, if it would make you feel more comfortable with its efficacy, you could try it on me, see if it's a way out. You know, you eat the mushroom, decide you don't like it, potion yourself, now you're back to normal, right? That's a possibility.
You're alright with being cut off from the consciousness of the mushrooms?
Not particularly, but if it means keeping all of it from dying, yes, for a temporary amount of time.
Sidebar.
I'm over on the shore. You can just talk quietly. I won't be able to hear you.
Oh, right. So, I am all for experimentation in a controlled environment, but I'm worried that this tips our hand.
What do you mean?
If we expose the network to the solution that we have now, they might be able to adapt by the time we get to Sporehome. Not saying that's guaranteed, but...
Is that any different than the network we've already exposed it to? You've exposed it to several rats and the various amounts me and Fred had.
I don't know, but giving it to one of its mycelial hunters feels more closer to Sporehome, I guess.
I mean, if this works, I think this is the best way to get an unbiased opinion on the mushrooms, you know?
Oh, because he'll have been on both sides of it?
Yeah, and he won't be influenced by the mushroom anymore, and he can actually tell us if the mushroom was good or not, while not being told that the mushroom is good. You know what I mean?
I suppose.
But if you don't feel comfortable with it, like, I'm not gonna take it and run and give it to him.
I guess if we're not worried about making things harder for ourselves down the road, I'm fine with it.
I'm gonna level with you, Juliet. I'm worried about everything right now. I don't feel like we're in exactly a good spot.
So I don't know about what to do about this guy and his mushroom situation, but I have a theory.
All right.
Oh boy. Okay. So I'm wondering if with the connection that I have, since mine is not like a physical thing and like a mental thing that the forest changed about me.
Right.
I'm wondering if I activate that and eat the mushroom, if I can hang on to that part of me.
Ah.
My worry is that it goes the other way and it can transfer to someone you connect to.
I don't think that's how that works. As from everything that we've been able to tell so far, you have to physically ingest the mushroom in order for that to take a hold of you. I don't think it has anything to do specifically with a mental connection. And like I said, at some point, this is all just theory, but I think that might be a way to keep one of our heads in the game while also connecting with the hive. I don't like it. I'm not trying to jump in here, and do it now. I'm saying I think that's just my current theory for how to keep, like I said, us still being ourselves. Or at least knowing that the mushrooms are not totally right.
Can we try it on him first?
Yeah, I was going to say, I prefer knowing that we have a way to get you back in case something goes wrong.
If he's willing, yeah, I would prefer that too, but...
Well, first things first.
It sounds like one of us is going to have to do something if that's the way that we overturn this.
Yeah. Also, if we do this, whoever we do it to should be restrained so that we can turn them back.
Oh, yeah.
Even if they say they don't want to be turned back, right? We're in agreement about that.
Yes.
All of us right now, of sound mind and body, say we don't want to be mushroom people, right?
Yes.
Right.
So that means if we have to force feed someone in the antidote, we're going to do it, right? And we're not going to feel bad?
No.
Right.
I'm assuming we all meant the same thing when we said different answers.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't trying to undercut a moment. I was just making sure that we're all on the same page. Okay, I just want to make sure, because I don't want to lose you guys.
Right, well, let's try this other thing first, and then go from there.
She hugs you guys before we go do this.
Oh, Autumn. I love you too.
Are you testing this out on him first?
Yeah, if he's okay with it.
You gotta...
Yeah, we're testing it out on him first. The other option we have, Mandy, I think your idea is better than mine. My other option is we let Juliet eat it because she's the easiest one to hold down.
Oh my gosh. Oof. You're not wrong, but...
Autumn has a +4 in athletics. Fred has Autumn has a +5 athletics. Fred has a +4 physique, and Estelle has a +3.
I would like the record to show Juliet hates this idea.
All of the ideas.
Okay, so do you want to run it by other guy first, though?
Yeah.
Yeah,
all right, go for it.
Okay, so we have a theory on how we could maybe connect while also trying to come to an agreement with what we currently want. I think, though, if you are willing, we would like to give the antidote that we have a try on you.
All right. Fine. May I come on board?
I'll come and give it to you.
All right.
Cool.
So do you just hop over and walk up to him?
Yup.
All right, so you walk over to him. He's about 6.5 feet tall. He's big. His head and chest, like I said, are larger than normal, as this was a skull meant to project voice a long distance. His body is that same mottled mushroomy color, but you can see also that his muscles seem oddly hung on the bones underneath of him. And they're always sort of shifting and sliding over themselves. That's just what this thing is. So is this an injection, or is it a splash, or how you doing this?
I think it's a liquid, right, Caitlin?
Yeah.
That's he can drink it.
Yeah, because you and Fred drank it.
Yeah.
So he takes a vial and just goes, the whole thing?
I'm assuming that's what Juliet wanted.
I would have dosed out what I thought a 6.5 foot person should take.
Looks at it, looks at you, looks back at it, and just puts the whole thing in his mouth and just crunches it up.
Ah!
Was that, I guess, right? Right?
Close enough. Does that hurt at all? You have fleshy bits.
Yes, but those are...
vestigial?
I think they're like your fingernails or your hair.
All right, fair.
Because that, you guys just hack off all the time, but then your other parts of you you're so connected to, it's very odd. Fingers, I mean, how you only have one size of finger is madness to me, and how do you not occasionally cut them off? I mean, it happens from time to time. And as he's talking, he just, like, falls apart into soup, and there's just, like, a skull sitting there on the ground, and that's where we'll end.
Ah!
Thanks for listening to this episode of Wanderlust. Music for this show is credited down below. If you like this campaign, you can find more of our shows at the Wandering Gamer website or on Podbean. You can also find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Links in the description. Now bear in mind, in the wilds, some wander to get lost, and some wander to find themselves.